Music Access. So, as I came into the studio today, I thought about something. Why don't we put our hearts into our pens and start writing? What am I talking about? I'm talking about Christmas cards and holiday greeting cards for our friends, our family, people that we love, people that we miss, people that we're thankful for. Some of you might be thinking, Christmas cards already? It's only December 5th. And I know, but if you don't hurry, all the pretty cards will be gone by the time you want to write them. And if you don't start writing them early, you might forget and leave someone special out or be in a rush to write all of them at once, so maybe forget what you really wanted to say. Also, the most important part, you need to write the cards early so you can send them early so they'll arrive on time before Christmas. So let's get ready so our cards will arrive for our friends and family on time, and so the words expressing our sincere feelings for them will arrive on time for them this Christmas, okay? The first song you heard today, Saturday, December 5th, 2015, was Christmas in the Sand by Colby Kelly. That's right, guys, now that December is officially gone off with a start, we are starting to get into the Christmas spirit here at Arirang. So you know how I mentioned before a few times that, Christmas decorations in November and all that stuff, but now that we are in the month of December, feel free to send in those requests for Christmas songs, because we always are playing lots of music, but then there's only 1 month where we can really get into that festive Christmas spirit. So if you have any song requests, any Christmas song requests, anything Christmas related, whether they're messages or anything, send those in as much as possible while we have the time. Now, of course, here's how you can listen and participate on Music Access. You can download the Arirang Radio or TuneIn Radio app on your smartphone, and you can also send us messages through the app using the comment function. You can also listen to us by visiting our website, www.arirangradio.com/musicaccess, and leave your messages there on our message board. Another way you can tune in is through terrestrial DMB, but this is only available for our listeners living on Jeju Island. The frequencies are 88.7 for Jeju City, 88.1 for Seogwipo, and 101.9 for Daejeong. And of course, like I mentioned just before this, if you have any song requests, send those up onto our message board under the title Request. Remember, we're looking for any songs you want to hear, but like I said, in the month of December, request your favorite Christmas carols and songs. It's the best month for it because it's the only month with Christmas in it. Now we're going to check out 2 songs before we dive into my text and message, and we're going to start with Coming With You by Neo, followed with Ring Off by Beyonce. Reading your messages again and again, reading through the messages I sent again and again. The messages I wait for, the messages that make me laugh, the messages that are precious to me. My text message. Which messages were the ones that were the most memorable to you from the week gone by? The messages that you keep are the words from the person you want to keep close, and if you remember the messages that you sent, you probably spent a lot of time thinking about it before sending it. Our special Corner in Corner for Saturdays, My Text Message, is all about sharing the social media or text message that was the most memorable to you from the week gone by or whenever. It could have been a message that made you really happy or angry, or something that made you LOL, or a message that made you really frustrated. Let us know which message was the most memorable, and also share with us some of the messages that you keep saved in your mobile device and why. To write for our corner, put your title as My Text. And now our first text message for My Text Message today comes from Shreya Talukdar from Bangladesh, saying, Benji, happy Saturday. It's time to share a text message with you. You know Eunmi, right? She's a listener of MA plus one of your biggest fans, and she is one of my best SNS friends. It was about a year ago we were arguing with the topic and it turned into a fight. I was angry because it was actually her fault, and I decided not to talk with her anymore. She was also mad about that, and so we stopped texting each other for 3 days. On the 4th day, she sent me a video message saying sorry. It was really cute and adorable. We do fight sometimes, but I think we forgive each other and laugh a lot, and these times sometimes become funny moments that we remember. Anyway, Benji, you and Kunmin also fight sometimes. Can you share some of your fight stories? Okay, so I've mentioned a couple times on the air that me and Kunmin, we have these moments once in a while where we don't get along quite perfectly. Back when we were trainees, I think we worked sort of well. Obviously, we would keep a little bit of distance when we first met because, we're getting used to each other, feeling out each other's personalities. But then, after we debuted, we became, of course, a little bit more comfortable. And then as a result of that, one thing that arose was, the small things. There would be moments when we'd all be busy with something, and the small things would kind of, tick us off. For example, we'd say one thing, and we'd say it without thinking that much, but all of a sudden, because I wasn't feeling good that day, I would suddenly get really caught up in the emotion and be like, yo, so why is he saying this to me? Then we wouldn't talk to each other for a while. And then as, we'd sort of ignore each other, that kind of blew up into something bigger than it really had to be. And so, after a day or two of, just being really awkward, you just kind of talk about it. And you just be like, yo, so, we had this thing, but, I'm sorry. Or, whoever did wrong says they're sorry. And I think one of the most important things about, getting into a fight and working it out is definitely just, taking the first step, taking the first initiative to open the talk. In your case, Shreya, Eunmi, she sent you a message and she worked it out. And I think that goes for everyone as well. If you have some kind of problem with a friend or something that you need to work out, it's really, really important to just kind of, talk it out instead of hiding your feelings and hoping that the other person will apologize. Because in the end, two people hoping the other person apologizes could end up with no one apologizing. You never really know. So, hopefully if you have any other beef to work out in the future, this will kind of help you work that stuff out. And thank you for sending in your message. Now we're going to check out 2 songs as we continue on, starting with the song that Callie of France requested, We Are Young by Fun featuring Janelle Monáe, and followed with the song Tongue Tied by Group Love. We just heard the songs We Are Young by Fun featuring Janelle Monáe, followed with Tongue Tied by Group Love. And it's time for our next text message, which comes from Yunita Swinyo from Indonesia saying, Happy Saturday, Benji. So I have 2 phones, but it's been months. I let my old phone die without charging it anymore, and I've used this phone since 2007 when I was in senior high. So a few days ago, I charged the battery again because I needed to look for something in the photo gallery, but then I stopped by all my messages as well. Mostly are my old messages with my first love. I do know why I already moved on, but I don't know why I don't want to erase these messages. Every time I read it, I feel so nostalgic. All the memories and the feelings come back. And anyway, they're kind of cute memories that I remember. Wow, I just gotta say, that must be like an immensely just kind of impactful moment. Just like, can you guys imagine? We're in the year 2015 right now, but there's the phone that you used since 2007. That's 8 years ago. And just reading through the messages that are on that phone, thinking about everything that's going through there, the thoughts that I was going through at the time, we're lucky enough, and at the same time unlucky enough, that we have SNS networks that have existed since we were younger. And so we can see the stuff that we've written when we were, a few years back, a long way back. And, I think, I just realized that's another great way to write in for this corner. I think if you have stuff that you guys wrote on your SNS, they have this whole wall format and all that stuff, or it used to be called a wall anyways. But, you go look way back on there and see if you wrote anything interesting. If you wrote anything interesting on your status or any other person's status. And, see if there's anything interesting to kind of get from that, or any kind of interesting stories you might have. Like Unita. Having these messages that you looked on your old phone must have been really super nostalgic, and at the same time, I'm sure it must have been very, very weird. I mean, it must have been a weird experience to have a very out-of-body kind of, look at these messages and be like, I don't even remember writing this stuff. But then I guess you might remember at the same time because it was your first love. Good times. All right, so we're going to check out 2 more songs as we continue on. Daphne of the USA requested a Years and Years song, so we'll play Shine by Years and Years, following it with Doing It by Charlie XCX featuring Rita Ora. We just heard the songs Shine by Years and Years, followed by Doing It by Charlie XCX featuring Rita Ora, and it's time to continue on, but not with my text anymore, because we are closing off my text for today. Remember, guys, if you want to write in, tell me about the messages that made you sad, happy, moved you, didn't move you, made you freeze, made you think. Any of those messages, remember, it doesn't have to be a text. It can be a message on SNS as well. So, if you want to write in for our My Text Corner, just write My Text on your title before you post up your message, and I'll introduce them the best I can during this time every weekend. Now, of course, we gotta go into what y'all are doing, what y'all are thinking about, the things y'all want to say to me for my message. So, if you want to write in for this corner, write in on our message board, leaving it under my message, or just leave me a message and I'll see if I can read it. Remember, we also read the messages that we couldn't get to during the week sometimes. Alright, so looking at the messages from our dear MA fam, our first message is from Baek Soo-kyun from Korea, saying, Benji oppa, hi, I'm so happy to listen to MA. So I saw you on TV last Saturday. I wonder what it was like on set. You are awesome. Love it when you play the violin. Love it when you do anything. Hope you have an awesome day. Love you so much. Times 100. So yeah, that was on Immortal Song last weekend for us. Stephanie, I played violin a little bit for her stage. And on set, it's a totally different experience because, as an idol, I sing and we're using pre-recorded backup vocals with track. But there it's all like live session instruments. So it was the first time I actually played violin with a click track in my ear, which was really, really interesting. And it was a very good learning experience, I feel like. And then working with, Stephanie and all the musicians and making that stage, it was just a super, super fun time, and it was super fun. Did you guys watch it? Did you watch it? If you have any recommendations on how to make my stages more awesome, let me know. But thank you for watching it. I support you and I love you back times a million. Now we're going to check out 2 songs. Jenny of the USA requested Me You by Sunny featuring Pegyerin, and Jody of Singapore wants to hear 소녀 by Oh Hyuk. We just heard Me You by Sunny featuring Pegyerin and 소녀 by Oh Hyuk, and we're going to continue on with a quick message before we move on to 2 songs. Joanna from the USA saying, hello DJ Benji and MA fam. Happy Saturday, wishing you all a terrific day. Much love from Joanna. Thanks, Joanna. Hope you have a great day as well. And to start off that great day, or keep it going, we're going to play 2 more songs, starting with a song as Susanna from the USA requested, Taula by B.I.G. And Harshika of Sri Lanka wants to hear Dum Dum by Red Velvet. And right after a short break, we'll continue on with our Saturday show, of course, introducing messages sent to us by you. We're going to check out the song that Eunice of Mexico requested, Don't Speak by No Doubt, and be right back. What's up? You're listening to Music Access with me, Benji of B.I.G. And our first song starting off the second hour of our show for Saturday, December 5th was the amazingly epic song Blue Moon by Beck. Now, of course, here's how you can listen and participate on Music Access if you're not already. Go ahead and download the Arirang Radio or TuneIn Radio app on your smartphone and send us messages via the comment function, or listen to us by visiting our website www.arirangradio.com/musicaccess and leave your messages there on our message board. Another way you can tune in is through terrestrial DMB, but this is only available for our listeners living on Jeju Island. The frequencies are 88.7 for Jeju City, 88.1 for Seogwipo, and 101.9 for Daejeong. Now we'll check out 2 songs before we come back to more messages, starting with the song Lay Me Down by Sam Smith, followed with Hello by Adele. We just heard the songs Lay Me Down by Sam Smith, followed by Hello by Adele. Who is, I just wanted to say, side note, congratulations to Adele. I'm sure she listens to Music Access wherever she is, but she moved, I think, the most amount of albums in the history of music record selling, I guess. It moved like 3.3 million albums in 1 week, and it could be headed for another million seller in its second week, which is the first album in the history of the entire planet. So congratulations to Adele. Go ahead and send in a message to Music Access and we'll read them here. Alright, so it's time to continue on with your guys' messages, continuing on from the first hour. Remember, we're also checking out your song requests as well, so send. And we're going to start our second hour with a message from M.A.R. Imarin from Japan saying, "Hi Benji, please call me Mari Marin." Oh, that makes sense. I think the spacing was just weird. So it says, "How are you doing? Did you catch a cold? I heard it snowed in Korea. It's really winter now. It's cold in Japan too. We eat odeng and hot pot in Japan during the winter. We don't eat it during the summer though. What about Korea? What do you like to eat during the winter, Benji?" Well, one thing that I really like eating in the winter is patjuk. So it's like this kind of red bean, the red bean paste. They make that into a kind of soup, put in the white color rice cake, and you eat it. It's really good. Another thing that I eat is just normal, just like rice porridge, or they have this like chicken porridge, and it's really good. Another thing that I really like eating when it gets cold in Korea is there's something about eating street food in Korea. I don't know what it is and why it's so appealing and yet so unappealing at the same time. But when you're hanging out with friends and you're walking down the street and you're not super hungry, but you could get a snack, instead of going into your local fast food chain or headed to the nearest coffee shop, try Korean street food when it's cold outside, and then you'll get this really crazy experience of your body being cold but your mouth is burning hot, because they have all these delicious Korean snacks and this kind of mini meals, I guess you might call them. They have the blood sausage, sundae. We have the 튀김, the deep fried little treats, but especially the spicy rice cakes, tteokbokki. If you eat that on a cold day, it's crazy. It really warms your body up. And even when you're cold, it makes you start sweating, depending on how spicy it is. And it's just, I remember a lot of good times just, after a night or after like a good kind of dinner, or not dinner, I'm sorry, watching a movie or just hanging out with friends. You eat on the street and you get this awesome kind of social, familial kind of experience that I think it's really a very Korean experience, just like going on the street, getting that food, and then you can get the rice cake sauce poured over the deep fried stuff, which is crazy good, guys. I'm serious. If you haven't tried it before, we are getting into winter here, so give it a shot. Remember, in December, when it gets cold out, go to your local food stall and try it. I really recommend it. Alright, we're going to check out two songs as we continue on with our program, starting with the song Mika of Japan requested Trap by Henry, and Mylene of the USA requested the song 보여줄게 by Ailey. We just heard the songs Trap by Henry, followed by 보여줄게 by Ailey. And it's time to continue on with another message, and our next message comes from Wilma Stevens from Australia, saying, "Good day, Benji, Muji, and all the Music Access fam. Hope y'all are having a good day. I'm just curious, Benji and Muji, what are your favorite and least favorite makeup items? What do you think your B.I.G image expert and fellow member Jaehoon would recommend not leaving the house without? I'm a girl, but I don't tend to wear that much makeup, but it's always lots of fun to try out different looks with makeup on. Do you try different looks with makeup? Please always stay healthy and well. Take care. Whiting." So, I am not the kind of guy that wears a lot of makeup. Well, okay, how about this? When we do a music video or when we perform a stage and we're supposed to be, the very kind of, super dolled up, super idol that we have to be, then, of course, they do the guy liner, they do, the makeup, the base, all that stuff. I don't even know what it's called. It's like a foundation, I think that's what it's called. Other than that, though, like on a normal day when I just go out, literally, this is what I do. Check this out. So, I wash up and do all that stuff. I put, I think, toner or something on my skin. Then I put lotion And that's it. Maybe sunscreen if it's sunny outside. Although you should probably be putting sunscreen whether or not it's sunny outside. But that's it, actually. Like, I don't put on any makeup. I don't put on anything. That's it. And, I don't try different looks with makeup. Although, when I do have stages, I try different hairstyles. That's why there's not, like, a signature Benji hairstyle. Because, one, I like wearing hats a lot. And two, because with each stage, I always try to find a different hairstyle to see if there's one that, like, really just, like, matches perfectly. But as of yet, it's still, we're still trying to find one. And Jaehoon would probably recommend not leaving the house without putting on that infamous BB cream. That's right, he puts on BB. Some people put on BB cream because they want to look good. I gave up on my I'm not huge on like personal image other than taking care of my skin and all that stuff. And so usually especially because it's cold out now, I just put on a mask just because it's not good breathing too much cold air. It's not that good for your throat, and it covers half your face, so no one knows who you are anyway. So that's why I put on a mask, so I don't have to put on BB cream or anything. And masks are super awesome. You can get a variety of masks here in Korea. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, see about those masks. Those fashion masks, yet they're good for keeping the air warmer than usual. Myuji doesn't put on makeup because he doesn't put on anything because he's furry, which means he doesn't need anything. He eats a lot of bamboo, though. And fried chicken. What a pig panda. Alright, so we're going to continue on with two more songs as we continue on. Oda of Norway wants to hear Bangtan's new track, Run. And Unita of Indonesia requested the song Beat the Light by The Ark. We just heard the song Run by BTS, followed by Beat the Light by The Ark. What do you guys think of these tracks, Bangtan came back recently. The music video was like 7 minutes or something. It's super, super long. And there's a lot of interesting imagery and a lot of interesting meaning behind it. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. And while you're at it, check out B.I.G's music. Because, why not? Alright, so we're going to continue on with more messages. Starting with Jenny from the USA saying, Benji, whenever I clean my room, I always find myself being distracted because somehow I find something I never knew I had or something interesting. So cleaning always takes longer than it should. Do you have any solutions in cleaning? So for those of you who may or may not know, I'm not necessarily the cleanest person. When I organize, I do try to organize to the best of my ability, but one of the problems with living with 5 other dudes is that there is, what's the opposite of a surplus? Anti-surplus? There's a term for this that it's not coming to mind right now. But there is a lack. Maybe that's it? I don't know. There's a lack of space. So, if I need to, let's say I need 10 spaces, I only have 6 or 7, which means I'm always kind of running out of room to a certain extent. Solutions in cleaning, I'd say just take your time. I wouldn't stress out too much about, time-wise. Just be like, if I need to clean something, then I need to clean something. But it's not necessarily, oh my gosh, I need to clean it as fast as possible. Just as you're cleaning, if you find something that you didn't know you had and it's interesting, play with it. If you find yourself playing with it too long, be like, oh, that's right, I need to clean, then I'll play with this later. It's just, you find your own mix for things. And I think that's how I clean a little bit. I clean, then if I get tired, I take a quick break. Then I go back to cleaning, then I take a quick break. So cleaning does actually take a longer time for me than it might take for other people. But it's my own system, and I always, of course, turn on music when I am cleaning. So maybe that could help you. Turn on a little music while you clean, and it might help you, with a little bit of boredom. Maybe. I don't know. That's what I do to help cleaning, and it helps me a little bit. So that's what I'd recommend. K-pop Top 100. Or whatever. Alright, so we're gonna continue with 2 more songs as we continue on, starting with the song that Bedouin of Turkey requested, 기가 막혀 Awesome by N Flying. And Amber of the USA wants to hear the song I Remember by Bang Yong-guk featuring Yang Yo-sub. We just heard the songs 기가 막혀 Awesome by N Flying, followed with I Remember by Bang Yong-guk with Yang Yo-sub. I think there's a version actually with BAP's Taehyun on the track as well. I remember when this song came out, I was like, whoa, this is a pretty interesting track. Alright, so we're gonna continue on with some more messages as we continue flowing and grooving along on these songs on our Saturday show. Starting with this, I almost said song. The message that Harshika Disanayaka from Sri Lanka sent us. Hello, Benji Oppa, hope you're doing well. I wish you all the best. Have a nice day. 사랑합니다. And then there's these symbols that I don't know how you guys are sending this, but they're really, really interesting symbols. It's like a fleur-de-lis or something like that, but it's not quite like that. But anyway, thank you for sending your message. And we also have Jesselyn Villegas from the Philippines responding to something that I said this week. She sent in something that said, Mahal ko kayo, and I said I didn't know if I said that right. And it means I love you apparently, and I pronounced it correctly. So thank you, Jesselyn and Harshika, for your messages. If you guys have any recommendations or phrases to recommend for me to learn in a foreign language, so that means languages that I am not quite familiar with, go ahead and send those up to our message board. It's always good to hear from our listeners, and especially just kind of connect with the different cultures from all around the world. As this radio program does get sent everywhere, we want to see how many people we can connect with. And what a better way to connect with than with various languages. So make sure to send in your messages here. Now we're going to check out two more songs as we continue shuffling along, starting with I Bet My Life by Imagine Dragons, followed with What Kind of Man by Florence and the Machine. And it's time to wrap up our show for Saturday today. The last song that we're going to check out is I Won't Give Up by Jason Mraz. This was Benji of B.I.G, and as always, I'll be back.